Hi, Tea Society. Welcome back to the Antisocial Planet. Today we are checking out Laid Back Camp Season 2, Episode 7, and I'm a little bit nervous going into this because we just had Nadeshiko say that she wants to try solo camping, which, okay, positive. She's asking for advice from someone, Rin, who's done this before. But we had a little bit of a cautionary tale in the last episode of not being prepared going into doing camping, and Nadeshiko worries me in general when she tries to do things on her own, so I'm hopeful for her, and I know that it's not going to get too stressful because it's laid back camp, but I just worry for her. In 3, 2, 1, go. Sleeping on the train is such a mood. Look, little dumpling. I hope it goes well. Yes, make sure people know where you are. If you've learned anything from the last episode, it's good if your friends know where you are and that you can charge your phone. I really hope that this goes fine. Like, I know, again, laid back camp. How stressful is it gonna get? Right? And it's not like she can't do anything. She's got a job. She's delivered mail on her own, right? She's done camping. It's just, her coordination isn't great. Right? I do kind of love that, like, Eden seems to be the one who's, like, making sure everyone's all right. Just, like, coordinating everything to make sure everyone's fine. I wonder what equipment she has too. And she's got her lamp. Which is very exciting, but... Look, I just worry in general. Maybe because, like, for me, I'm, like, quadruple checking everything. Like, I'm gonna be stressed that I don't have the right equipment until, like, the very last second. I'm gonna be checking, like, rechecking every reservation. As someone who has planned trips and done them by myself, I am stressed the entire time, and I need, like, weeks afterwards to recover. I love that. Never mind that one. Nothing happened. No cuddles were given. Yep. It is a real superhero, really. I was gonna say, is that in her little oven, or her little heat or whatever? Are we just casually not listening? Like, casually, we're definitely reading a book and not hearing the conversation. You're included, though. You can't be eavesdropping that clearly and then expect to not be included in the meeting. Yeah, she's learning to appreciate loneliness. I do love that that was set up like foreshadowing because she had the moment at the train station, right? Yeah, you're a role model and a hero. Can we just censor like what company nondescript we were using to search for a map? Not dropping brand names. To be fair, traveling the train is a lot of fun. Yeah, she's a little bit protective. Her heart's in the right place. I'm glad I'm not the only one who's worried about Nadeshiko's ability to be a functional person. To be fair, she's a high schooler. I didn't really know what I was doing either. Yes, pick somewhere where you can phone people and make sure your phone is charged, even in the cold weather. Yes, very important. We learned that in the last episode. Also important. I like that we had like a cautionary tale, and I was like, here's what you need to do, though. Mm-hmm. Check the temperatures. Mm-hmm. Yes. How cold is it at night versus how cold is it during the day? I don't know about that. Does anyone else enjoy just a good, like, observing? Or is that just the neurodivergent in me? Hey, I'm knitting right now. Not even joking. But like anyone else just like a good looking at stuff session when they're out in nature? Or is that just me like going to a park, sit myself down on a bench and just observe? That might just be the neurodivergent in me, but same thing with a train. Give me a window and I'll just look, observing. Yes, we're a little bit worried about the cold, aren't we? Cautious now. And definitely not because there's a shop you want to get to. No connection whatsoever. Cute. I love the contrast of energy. You socialized well. I feel like I need to encourage Eden because I'm like, I can see so much of myself in her that I'm like, you did great. You gave advice. You did a socialize. Ooh, what do we got plans for? We cleaned all of our equipment and our bike and everything. Scooter. Yet we're accepting this. Aww. A little app to make sure we know where she is. Cute. Oh, we got a checklist and everything. Look at you being responsible. I'm so proud of anyone with a good checklist. I'm gonna be like oddly emotional about this. She's gonna like do well with this because again, laid back camp, nothing terrible is gonna happen. So this is gonna turn out with her being like at least being able to go on a trip and making it back. And I'm gonna be strangely emotional about it. This is a cute little montage. Oh, all the snacks. Again, with the brand names changed, just in case. I love that she's like, every snack. Because of course she is. Cutie pie. I hope this turns out well for her. I know, like, ultimately will, but, like, you know. I hope it's not too many mishaps. I'm not thinking about how easy it would be to make a replica of Eden's scarf here. I do love a good cafe visit when you're like out doing stuff. Or a nice shop. Oh, there's a cafe near where I live that has like a loft area. Like a fireplace. Spacious. Nice little day off. I love how much she enjoys food just as much as Nadeshiko, but it's like internal. I also love that they send pictures to each other. Like, I know that lots of people send pictures and stuff to each other, but it's just a cute mechanic within the storytelling, right? So that everybody knows what's going on. I was gonna say, we have to take all the pictures, right? Food? Yeah, I'm like, we're gonna get distracted by food. Oh, we've got a mission. Oh, sweetie. She can't just walk away from food. I love the consistent sleeping in. I don't know why it would be a secret. I'm assuming we're gonna come back to that thread of like the new job. Oh dear. Oh, and after she was so intentionally waiting. Is that her car? I don't know what her license plate is. I had not memorized a license plate. Yeah, you could just say hi. Rewarded for her patience. Do we not have a plan? Peer pressure. I'm sure it'll be great though. The Dutchko's never seen food she didn't like. Ugh, anime food always just looks so good. Maybe it's just because I don't have any cooking skills and I don't like cooking food, so. Are we doing all right? Mesmerized, hungry. She'll be fine. Are we spying? Just say hi. Look, I'm also introverted and weird. I've definitely been there of like, dang, I can't go to this place now because there's people. I could be perceived. Oh. Ugh. I want pasta now. I feel like it would be great to cook for somebody like her because she would just be so excited about it. I guess that explains some of the weirdness of ordering. It's like I've never been out by myself. I don't know if this is going to be incredibly awkward because neither of them is big talkers, or if that's going to make it work out because they'll just be quietly in the same proximity. Aw. Are we about to bond? Aw. Are we about to bond? It'd be so cute. She's the quiet worrying type. I love the parallel. The mirror shot. She's like very intense about her favorite series. And as someone with an intense DVD collection, I'm with ya. I have my favorites, and when I can't watch them, I get very upset. Which is why we have DVDs. So much energy. We have a schedule? Good for you. Again, oddly proud. She packed all of her stuff. She made a checklist. She has a plan. Look at her go. I'm proud of anyone who can have a schedule. That was me though. When I went traveling, I always have like a whole schedule planned out. And then I end up like sending it to my mom mainly so that people know exactly where I am. She's my go-to. Because if I don't respond to a text in like 15 minutes, my mom's like, crisis mode, something has happened. So look, I don't know if I should be watching the end or not. I know there's gonna be a little cartoon at the end. I just like being here in this series. It's like, it's a cute episode though. Of like, again, showing people who are like worried and looking out for like Nadeshiko. And I actually really like the kind of mirror or like parallel between Rin and Sakura, right? Of the two of them having like very similar personalities. It makes a little bit of sense why Nadeshiko might be friends with Rin. Familiar with the kind of people that she's used to interacting with, right? But I think it's cute to have like a little moment of these two very similar characters, right? Bumping into each other. I'm excited to see how it might all go solo. I like getting an episode that's just joy, right? Like after the last episode, which again, nothing bad ended up like ultimately happening, but it was definitely a bit more of a anxious episode in terms of them running around trying to figure out how to problem solve and didn't really have the experience or the like equipment to make that happen. So it's nice to have this episode where it's okay, we got advice about what we were supposed to be doing. People know where we're going. We know know what the weather's going to be like where we're going. We've done a bunch of the research and planning. We've packed all the equipment that we're going to need, right? Like, it's nice to see someone who is very well planned for everything after the last couple of episodes where it was like on the fly. We'll just go and we'll have a fun time. And like, we have a basic idea of what it's going to be like, and ultimately saying, hey, that can turn into something very like stressful and potentially dangerous really quickly when you're doing winter camping, right? So having someone like Nadeshiko who's like, I'm going to talk to someone who's done this before. I'm going to have advice and make a checklist, and I'm going to go through it and do all of this planning and make sure people know where I am and keep them updated, right? Sharing like photos and keeping people updated what she's doing so that I can do this safely. And so it's fun. And it's just nice to see her doing something where she is capable of doing it by herself. Even at that moment with Erin, it makes me very nervous to think of you having a license, right? And I'm like, I'm glad I'm not the only one who's a bit stressed about that. But seeing her being like, I have a schedule and a checklist and a plan, and I know what I'm supposed to be doing and sticking to. And it will be nice to see her kind of accomplish that for herself, even talking about going and ordering food by herself, eating by herself. I remember doing that for the first time, and you're like, this is so weird, but saying, oh, I feel so grown up now to be doing this all on my own. And I think that it's why she wants to be doing this solo trip, right? It's not just to understand what it's like to do it, but also to prove that she can look out for herself and do stuff for herself, which is something that I think we all go through with like growing up. Is I need to show that I can prove it to myself. Maybe it's just me as like an anxious person that I'm like, I won't know that I can do this thing until I do it. So I go through the kind of troubleshooting of doing things on my own. And it's only now that I'm in my late 20s and I'm like, I've done a bunch of stuff on myself that I'm like, I love spending time with myself and going out and doing different activities and things, just me, because I'm used to that now. I know that I can do it and I can look out for myself. So it's fun to see this as someone who's in high school kind of still figuring it out. If you're so used to having grown-ups around to help you with things and to be there for every step of the journey, that she needs to do this on her own to prove to herself that she can. Really sweet story, and I'm loving this series. So I hope you enjoyed watching that along with me. You can click this playlist to go to my previous reactions, or you can subscribe so next time I post a laid back camp reaction, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.